We're down to the business end of the season, the last week of Swiss stage here in Rocket League, and we are about to find out who is going to go into our top 16 brackets as the kings of the North and the South to battle out to get to the LAN finals. Hello everyone, welcome to the Student Champs Nationals for Rocket League here on British Esports. My name is Craftman, that is Boy O'Royo, and we're back after a big long break of Rocket League. It's been 3 months since we were last here for Rocket League, but like I said, we are down to the business end of the season now, Boyo, the last week of Swiss before the eliminations start.
It has indeed been a long wait, but we are finally back with some more Rocket League action, and the Swiss stage has been going on and away it's been. Round 3 of the Swiss stage, and things are getting excited now, as you mentioned, to find our teams to make it into that bracket stage for North and South. And our first match of the day, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, it is the York College Vikings versus the CCSW Sandstorm side, and both of these teams currently only 2 wins, 0 losses. Been a very good run so far. York College Vikings barely taking the edge, having a 8 games won, 0 games lost. Meanwhile, CCSW having 1 individual game lost, but the difference in that is not too, not anything to really bother about. It's 1 game.
Yeah, you can't really read too much into that one loss. Obviously, that one from CCSW. There's a lot of acronyms that we're going to be throwing around today. But CCSW Sandstorm, as you mentioned, the only blemish on their records in the Swiss stage of this competition was, of course, last week against Serenity, Gateshead College. They ended up dropping the first game, in fact, to them 4-0. They lost that game, but then 4-1, 4-1, 4-0, 4-3 the rest of the way. So it didn't really seem to affect their momentum too much. But as we are, I think we're getting this game underway. This best of 7. Yes, here we go. The York College Vikings against CCSW Sandstorm. And it's the Storm who strike first.
It's only taken 5 whole seconds for CCSW to get the first goal of the series. Critical Force 5 finds the first of our best of 7 series, and a quick bit of history with these two teams as well, coming off of the Winter Swiss stage. It was York who were able to finish 5-1 in that Winter Swiss stage, and Sandstorm finishing 4-2, so when there were more rounds in play, York did have the upper hand. Will that be the case today? Again, the CCSW side there, rivals of the North.
Yes, indeed, and of course, top 15 from the Swiss stage will go through to the top 16 bracket. That one other spot being filled by a wild card as York College Vikings try to get themselves on the board. Lovely little passing 3-way in front of the orange net, not to be, as the CCSW Sandstorm getting themselves back in control of this. A nice little flurry there from the Vikings early on. Try to get that 1 goal back, Boyle.
And on the Vikings side, I think one of the main players to look out for would be Sellers. He has been a great player individually any time that I have saw him alongside Alphax and IP Freely. I don't know much about the CCSW side and the individual players, but certainly Critical Force has put his name on the board early on and put some eyes on him. But York College Vikings, it's IP Freely getting the first goal for that side.
Do you know that's a? I'll call him IP for the rest of the day. But next one there from the Vikings, and that passing play working out just as they imagined it the first time they were trying it. This time the Sandstorm clear the decks and allow the Vikings to get themselves back into this one as we go for the kickoff again, and that one just off the post. Critical Force just managing to get a foot to it, and the Vikings, they're honing in on this after going down early here. Boyo, they're on the rampage.
On the rampage indeed, the ball gets pushed towards the net once again to the backboard. It will bounce, shot goes high off the backboard, and the clearance away over to Critical Force. But reset attempt, takes it low. Good save on the line, but Sellers caught out. Here comes Kieran, and a goal found for CCSW, sends them back into the lead.
Lovely flip reset there from Critical Force, and that's a critical mistake. I think that was from Alphax, and just allows Carrion to come on through, and that was a crucial touch that just didn't go his way. But this could go right there all the way off the kickoff. Oh, Critical Force, after setting up that first goal, denies the rebound there from York Vikings. But here comes Sellers trying to make it 2-2, and the defense steps in yet again.
Close attempt once again off to the ceiling. The ball will bounce. Alphax can't get control, but the pass on down to the side. Here comes Critical Force into centre. Save by Sellers. He's got Alphax off to the side. Can he make the pass on over? Fakes out Kieran, but he'll get the touch on it anyway. IP waiting back. Heavy touch high. Off the ceiling, the ball will bounce. Follow up touch not found. Big clear away from Critical Force once again. CCSW have been great on the counter, and Critical Force will find himself another.
He's picking them apart, isn't he? Just finds that gap as Alphax and Sellers were just trying to come upfield and trying to put some pressure onto CCSW. But they commit a little bit too far up, and Critical Force just bangs it downfield. Enough boost in his tank to get to that one. And puts the Sandstorm up 2 goals now, 3-1. As we're halfway through game number 1, and they seem in firm control after a little bit of a flurry there from the York Vikings. You would say CCSW are in complete command of this, and it all seems to be going through Critical Force.
Yeah, he has been the real playmaker on both scoring and actually kind of making those plays happen for the CCSW side. Meanwhile, for York College Vikings, having a bit of disjointedness at times, where we have seen that they can really work well as a team together. They've had some moments where maybe communication hasn't been up to the usual standard we expect from them, and I think that will kind of get fixed over time as more shots do come towards net. IP up for it, but cannot get the touch. Send out to the corner nonetheless. Over to Alphax. He has Sellers waiting upfield, ready to receive that pass. It's a good touch from Sellers. Critical Force off to the side once more. IP and Alphax double commit as it rolls on around the back wall. CCSW in full control, but maybe getting a little bit too antsy with their touches. Some weird misses in the back line means that York College Vikings might find an opening here. The ball falls down to Alphax, but a great save from Critical Force once again.
They've got to find something to do with the ball, though. They keep getting in front of the CCSW net, but just fall short of actually making any play happen. It's all well and good coming down the field, but you've got to make that final shot count. You've got to compete in that final third. Otherwise, any pressure you're putting on your opponents is just all for naught, and trying to flip field position there as IP just bangs up field. I think he actually got a demo for his troubles as well, and now he gets demoed himself. York College Vikings really struggling to make ends meet when it comes to attacking the orange half of the field right now.
Kieran onto net. Cal looking for a bump, can't find it. Sell, can he find the save? No, he cannot. Kieran will get himself his second goal of the game, and the 4th for CCSW. Pretty much cementing this game on win, surely.
Surely it's got to be, and now that is probably looking like the first blemish on the York College Vikings Swiss record here in this part of the tournament. And it's going to be a difficult one to bounce back from, because you look at how CCSW put themselves together and everything seemingly going through Critical Force, and Karen just cleaning things up yet again. What, you just can't really read him at all. Alphax just does his best to put himself in the way, but Critical Force makes him dance, and Karen to put it away home. 5-1. This is a statement.
Certainly not what I was expecting for CCSW in terms of this dominance here. All kind of stats previous really pointed in New York College Vikings being the favourites coming into this one. But CCSW is a hat-trick for Critical Force. We've had a hat-trick for Kieran. Cal's just sitting back and enjoying the show, but he's doing the exact right thing for his team here. He doesn't have to do anything else, because Critical Force and Kieran are doing an incredible job up front, and Cal's just kind of rounding the team out at the back line.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, sat back on the deck chair with a lovely beverage and just thinking, yeah, boys, yeah, you guys just do all the hard work. I'll pitch in at some point where I really need to. But man, it is all Karen and Critical Force, mainly Force, who has just been ripping the Vikings apart, limb by limb. And they just don't seem to have a response right now. I know at this point, the game is gone, you might as well look towards game number 2, but any semblance of structure towards the attacking end of the field for Vikings, it's just not there, and CCSW taking full advantage right now.
A dominant game one. 6-1 for CCSW. My oh my, crafters. Unless York College Vikings can really give a good return in this second game here, it is going to be a hard run for them, because CCSW, they looked at a different level in that game.
Yeah, they've come to play today. They don't want to let that one blemish on their record from last week against Serenity Gateshead College. They don't want to let that affect them. They want to come out and dominate, and it's exactly what they've done. And Probably this is probably the biggest test that Vikings have faced so far in this section of the Swiss bracket, in this stage of the Nationals competition, and it's only going to get harder from here. Yes, you're 2-0 in the Swiss. You're more than likely going to get through to the knockout stages. But if this is a sign of things to come, at least in later parts of the tournament for the Vikings, they're going to step their ideas up because they want to get to that national final no matter what.
Oh, and Selger missing out with his touch right there with a good chance to get the ball onto net. Kieran going to try and get the follow-up. Cal waits patiently. And back the ball goes to Critical Force once again. Flip reset. Fakes it. Goes for the... He went for so much there. He went for the flip reset fake into a wave dash shot. Can't get the go out of it, but I love the idea coming out for CCSW here. The mechanics really getting put on the show.
He's just trying to do everything. Jack of all trades, so he is. And he tries to paint the top left corner. Can't quite get it to drop. Cal on the follow-up. But not to be for CCSW, looking to open as quickly as they did in game number 1. York College Vikings do not want to let this one run away from them. As soon as you go down 2, 3, 4 goals in this, you start to get into your own head of there's no way back in this. So if the Vikings can get the first goal on and just keep their net clean for as long as possible, it will serve them well.
Alfax catches the ball, good 50-50. Follow-up touch would be ideal to send this one upfield. IP to the backboard. Waits for Critical Force to take control once again. A lot closer of a game this time around. No goals yet to be scored. Might just change. Good save by Sellers. IP. What can he do with it? No boost in the time, but Sellers certainly does. Shot into net save by Critical Force. Over to Cal. It's Alfax up. Unable to make connection just yet. That ball sent high perfectly for Critical Force. Off the back, but it's headed to himself. Beautifully played, and CCSW take the lead.
Look at that touch from Kieran, by the way. Just sets that up nicely. Amazing. And Critical Force, he's just unbelievable, isn't he? He's just any touch he gets, you know he's going to get another one and probably at least put it on net and definitely score off that chance. 1-0 CCSW, and that is all Force, baby. But this one might tie up as, again, just CCSW jam the net shut. Could be a double touch here off the backboard. Force and Cal go for it. This is a overcommitment and double commit. Left the back line open. Can they get one back? Yes, they can.
An overcommit of all time there. CCSW having all players in the opposing box, pretty much. There's a wide open net for Alfax to score, and a tied up game as the York College Vikings get their first of game 2.
Yeah, you've got to take what the other team give you in that case, and yes, it might just be a mistake from CCSW leaving that net wide open, but Vikings have a chance here. They have a chance to take the lead for the first time. They have a chance to get a foothold back in this series, and they've let it slip by them as Cal goes for a double tap, and it connects 2-1.
An unfortunate miss there on the line. IP can't make the connection, and Sellers inches away, barely misses out. And with half the game left to go, CCSW take the lead once again.
And like I said, Vikings really needed to get some momentum going, and that is a morale killer. After just getting, I wouldn't call it a lucky goal. It was a fortunate circumstance that they had CCSW make a mistake and overcommit, and then they just send it down long and get the goal back. You want to see them hold on to possession for a little bit longer here, Boyo, because they're just giving the ball straight back to CCSW, and when you get it into the hands of Critical Force, magic can happen.
Critical Force is just single-handedly dismantling the CCSW team right now. He has been individually excellent, alongside his teammates, of course, with Kieran and Cal, but Critical Force has impressed me greatly.
Oh, certainly. He's really he's making a name for himself here in the British Esports Champs. But Kieran looks to have the spotlight put on him. Don't count him out. He can pull out the mechanics just when you least expect it.
Great work from Kieran there, and almost getting to save his IP, but I believe demoed actually on the line by... It must be someone else, because there was no way that was Kieran getting the demo at the speed he was going at. Nevertheless, CCSW 4-1 up in game 2. They won game 1 6-1. They're up 4-1 in game 2 with 2 minutes to go, pretty much, Crafters. They are just outplaying the York College Vikings to a different level right now.
It's their world. We're all just paying rent in it right now. And Critical Force seems to be the landlord collecting right now, and he gets it over to Cal and can't quite make an impact there, but still with 4-1 and every shot you take, the time ticking off the clock, and Vikings trying to scramble their defense around. Every time CCSW have a possession, it's putting their opponents down deeper into a hole, and that could have been 5. It was just off target, but it might not matter in the end here, Boyo, because Vikings again just cannot hold on to the ball for longer than 5 seconds.
10 high by Cal. Over to Sellers now. Off to the sidewall, past the centre of Alphax would be ideal, but caught out well by Critical Force off the ceiling, IP. And the pass on down, it'll be Cal to catch. Alphax tries to interject, but a quick denial down to the inner end at the Critical Force, causing fear into his opponent's side, but great clear by the York College Vikings. Off to the corner once again. If they want any chance of coming back this game, they have got to score pretty much now. Sellers might be the man to do it! Oh, to the top corner, it will not find the back of it, but certainly incredibly close.
Just watching that, I wasn't sure if he got the second touch on it to redirect it. It had to drop, it had to go in for 4-2, but it's gone the other way, 5-1. And Critical Force makes another impact. And these flip resets, these mechanics, pulling these out in critical stages like this, it just shows the confidence that he has to go for plays like this and strike fear into the heart of Vikings. I thought Vikings were meant to be fearless. They're whimpering in their boots and their horns and whatever else Vikings wear.
Yeah, all those things that Vikings wear, like horns and boots.
Horns and boots, famously. They apparently didn't wear horns either. Like,
or boots, it was crazy. They just wore sandals.
They just wore sandals. They were completely naked. No, they weren't. Probably. I don't know. I failed history in school. But CCSW, they're passing with flying colours every test they've been given today. 5-1 in game number 2. It's just going to keep continuing like this, boy, isn't it?
It feels that way. It was 6-1 game 1, 5-1 game 2. What I'm hearing is it'll at least be 4-1 in game 3. So we'll get a bit closer for game. Okay,
so we're going to get 4-1 in game 3 and then 3-1 in game 4. Is that what's going to happen?
Hey, if this gets to a game 6, if we end up playing a best of like 13, then we might see a reverse sweep come. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's best of 7. So unfortunately, if current trends keep up, York College Vikings will not win. But they certainly can turn things around. They have the capability to do so. Game 3, this is really, in my head, their last chance because a reverse sweep in a best of 7 is so difficult, especially when game 1 and 2 has been as dominant as this.
They would be in this position, the Vikings, if they weren't capable of pulling out something like this. They've clearly got the mantle behind them to be an undefeated team to this point. Obviously, no... you know, there's when it gets to this stage of British esports, there are better teams and not so better teams. So perhaps it's been a fortunate run, but knowing the caliber of competition that would be in the competition at this point, it's safe to say Vikings should have been tested at this point. This is the biggest test. They need to get over the hump in this one of scoring just 1 goal. They need to score 2, and they want to score first. I need to see them score first as well. Take that lead early and make CCSW play from behind, because they've had the freedom of playing with a lead this entire series.
They've been given free rein of the pitch, and the York College Vikings take that away from them. Kieran early on, going for the upfield attack. Good save by Critical Force on the line. We've seen him do it on offense. He can most certainly do it on defense as well. Flip reset, dribble upfield. Sellers will get the save. Alphax is rising high for that one, leaves it for Sellers, and a goal found for the York College Vikings.
Alright, yeah, there you go, York College Vikings. That's your lead from the front. And Stellar's just that's a smart play as well. Like in a situation like that, you can take a touch or bang it to the corner. No, Stellar's just finds that there's one man back. He's coming forward, and the gap's opening up, and you just hit it straight off the volley, right into the back of the net, and give York College Vikings their first lead of the day here, Boyo. What can they do with it? They've struggled to score two goals. They've not scored 2 goals at all in a single game this series. And it's all really thanks to this man,
Oh,
Critical
big
Force, and he will be
save.
denied this early one by Sellers.
Great work there by Sellers. Dives in, gets the save just in time. A shot onto net now will barely roll on past. Down from Cal, now down the other way. Critical Force, he loves his flip resets, he can't stop going for them. It's Kieran off to the side, well caught by IP.
This is open.
Roll into net.
Oh.
Good save by Cal, no one there from the York Howard Vikings side to put the bit of follow through in necessary. Critical Force, denied by IP. Big launch upfield by Kieran, we've seen what he can do on attack. Reads the bounce well, but Sellers denies.
Yeah, they're holding on to it so far. And CCSW, it's hard to say, coming forward and just try to play the game as they've been doing this series so far, is make York College Vikings uncomfortable on the back line. But they're starting to hold up, and they're getting a few more chances down in this orange end of the pitch. And a few more open nets to boot as well. Critical Force, no boost. Can anyone get to this? Cal gets to it. Can Alphax follow up? And Critical Force with no boost in the tank. Completely dry. Still manages to double jump and gets himself a block. He's had no boost, what it feels like forever. And he's still putting in the defensive plays. Even still as we remain on his camera. Oh, freely he had to just turn that one on net. And Critical Force, oh, he's still no boost in the tank. What is this man made of?
Still at 0 boost. Finally gets that 100 boost on the corner now, and
there you go.
just as he gets 100 boost, he gets punished by not being allowed to use it. Because Sellers comes in, launching the ball to the back of the net, and sends York College Vikings 2-0.
That's really smart from Sellers as well. Can read where that bounce is coming off the wall, and pops himself down on the ground to reset himself and put York College Vikings up a 2-goal advantage for the first time today. And it could not come at a more critical stage. Halfway through game number 3 in a game that's must win, you've got to feel for York College to stay in this series. But CCSW, they're not going to go quietly, as now Alphax one-on-one with Cal, and he'll lose that battle with no boost. But York College Vikings making CCSW work for it way more than you saw in games 1 and 2, Boyle.
Big demo there from Alphax. Kieran into centre, no one to pass to. IP. Down the corner. Bullied by Cal, ball sent away to the other corner. CCSW running circles around the York College Vikings in their defence, but the York College Vikings, to give them full credit, have held on incredibly well. Kept the ball out of harm's way, and now got themselves on a counter-attacking chance. Shot onto net, and Sellers gets a hat-trick.
And I've said Sellers has had a couple of smart goals. That's another one in his books to go in the smart section. Knows not to rush in and challenge Cal. He sees the ball bouncing to him, and he hits it on an empty net to now put the lead to 3-0. CCSW, you can see that their gameplay is still there. They're not going out of shape. They're not going out of rhythm. It's just now York College Vikings has started to step up, recognize the game that they're playing, and counter it in a way that's intuitive.
Alphax is up, can't meet the bounce. Off to the side, CCSW looking for a counter, but will be denied the opportunity to find it. Sellers will get goal number 4, and really send CCSW back to the drawing board here, because York College Vikings have seemed to find all the answers.
Maybe 4, you know how we were talking about patterns, the 6-1, 5-1. We might get 4-1, the other way to York College
so.
Vikings. Hang on, yeah, if it gets to get so, that would be 4-1, 3-1, 2-1. Game 6 would be 1-1 if that trend continues, which it can't be. Someone has to win that game, so we'll have to wait and see.
Keep playing overtime until the game crashes, and we just get stuck in
like
1-1.
Like that Sunless Can video.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember being in that. The lobby just
same.
broke and just was like, it just kind of gave up at that point. But York College Vikings, after losing the first couple of games, they are certainly not giving up, and it's Sellers with all 5 goals for the Vikings. And CCSW just look out of sorts. This is completely off the. This has come completely off the rails, Boyle.
Yeah, Sellers seems to have been unhappy with the Game 1 and Game 2 performance here, and have scored 5 goals, and they didn't need to. He just felt like it. Sellers says, make it 5-0, get all the goals himself, because why not? You know what? Why not, Sellers? Just get 5 goals in the game here. Get 6 goals. Get another hat trick. Why not?
A double hat trick. It's been a while since I've seen one of those in the flesh, but here it is as I live and breathe. But that's not to say that IP and Alphax have not been pulling their weight. They have certainly been setting up Sellers in a big way. And really, CCSW just kind of looked frustrated. And I mean, you would in this case if you've had 6 go against you after winning 6-1 and 5-1. After feeling control, after feeling like there's nothing that can stop you. Here come the plucky Vikings to put their foot in the ground and put their stamp on this series. We've got a game on our hands here, Boyo, and I think this could come down to the wire. This series.
The ball. Getting 8 kills here, as you mentioned. A game win for York College Viking means that this could get very intense. It was 2-0 incredibly convincingly by CCSW for the first 2 games. But coming in now for game number 3, York College Vikings have just had an incredible comeback.
Yeah, and I think it started with just picking up on the little mistakes that CCSW Sandstorm have been suspect to. They've been suspect to coming down the field a little bit more. And I mean, when you win a game 6-1 and 5-1 after being just over hyperly aggressive as they have, you would feel confident coming down because your opponents have done nothing to counter it. Now they're being countered. It's going to be interesting to see what CCSW do to counter the counter.
Now to counter the counter. Can they do it? Big question here coming on out. 2-1 the series score, still in favour of CCSW, but coming off of a 6-0 loss, it is actually the biggest goal difference in the game we've had so far. And all the goals came from Sellers. What can CCSW do here in game 4?
I mean, Sellers is just stat padding at that point. I mean, I think that the last one, I forget who it was. I think it was Alphax. Had it on target, and Sellers just like, oh no, this is mine. I'm the goal scorer here. You just pass to me. I'll put them in the back of the net, thank you. But CCSW, they've got to find their form as they had in games 1 and 2 for the Vikings. After a couple of down in the dumps games, they've certainly found themselves top of the pile. And they need to keep this momentum going to tie this series back up at 2 apiece.
Sellers off to the side, and be saved by Cal. Critical force already up to the backboard. He'll send it. Cannot read the bounce off the bar. It will go away. Sellers has Alphax upfield alongside him. The flick onto net. Critical force to get the save. Alphax looks to pass on back to IP. Shot onto net, saved by Critical force. Can they get this ball away from net? A good touch in the centre by Alphax means that it's still in a very dangerous position. Into the corner.
You see the boost. Sorry, boy. I was going to mention the boost meters on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yeah.
CCSW were in a lot of trouble when it came to the boost tally. To try and get out of defense, they managed to keep their lines clean for the moment. And one thing that I just recognized as well, Critical Force, we did not say his name a lot in game number 3. He was very much a non-factor most of the time. It was mistakes coming from Cal and Karen, but here comes Force to try and put CCSW back in the forefront, but they can't quite find a gap in the defense as York College Vikings seem to have strengthened their defenses.
IP picked out the oncoming attacker.
That's quite good.
Demo from Kieran. And Sellers is up. 90 seconds gone on by. Alphax to receive. To the backboard it will go. Double commit. No one left at net until Kieran finally gets on back. Shot goes high and a big clearance away. Left for Sellers to try and clean up and hold the offense in favour of the York College Vikings. To the backboard it will go. But Crafters, they just cannot find their first opening.
Have they swapped controllers? Have they swapped accounts? Because this is exactly what CCSW were doing to York College Vikings in the early goings of games 1 and 2. They were putting these shots on, and York College Vikings were not getting any clears downfield. Now the opposite is true. York College Vikings getting all the chances down in the orange half of the field, and CCSW just cannot find a shot to save their lives.
Kieran, 50-50 falls out to Cal. 50-50 trying to get it into centre once again will be denied. With IP looking for a pass over to Sellers, will not be found just yet. If he finally gets involved, beaten on the attack. It's Cal to the backboard, shot on down to Kieran. Sellers can't find the touch, but Critical Force certainly can. The pass is over to Cal to the backboard now. Is anyone there for the shot? Yes, they are. It is Cal. Off to the post, it will bounce. Away the ball will go. Rolling past the net, we remain 0-0.
Cal not able to find Painter there. He's changed his car for the second time this series. He last changed his car before that match 3 loss. And still tied at 0-0 here as he just ricochets around like a pinball. But the jackpot has not been found for the Sandstorm boys. Oh, that was the best chance that they've had in a long time, Boyle, and they cannot make it drop. That is a critical miss, if I've ever seen one.
A massive miss. But a saving grace for the York College Vikings IP to send this ball upfield, denied well by Critical Force. 90 seconds left to go. Critical Force no boost in the tank. We'll get it past 1. Off to the backboard, it's Cal. Beaten well by IP. 90 seconds. The clock keeps on ticking. Critical Force. An attempted attack to be developed. Denied well by Sellers. It's Cal to the backboard. Is anyone there for the shot? Critical Force down towards net. A miss from the defender, but a great save to follow up by Sellers. 1 minute to go. Still 0-0. Both teams have had so many chances, but they cannot find the finishing touch.
That's ridiculous. You saw the squishy save from Sellers, and I believe it was Cal who put it on target after Critical Force couldn't quite find it off the redirect. Just hits the post. And that in and out save from Sellers might have saved their bacon here to avoid going down match point, but an open net here, and a big save from Sellers. A huge shot from Critical Force. The 2 stars of their respective sides put up a huge play.
The Sellers we were seeing in Game 3 and Game 4 is a completely different player from what we saw in Game 1 and Game 2. He has stepped up big time, and it mattered most for the team. Sellers now to pass on down. Alfax off to the corner. IP can't make the touch. Shot downfield by Cal. Left over to Sellers to the corner. We could have an overtime on our hands, but another chance coming out for CCSW. Sellers will interject. He denies an opportunity for a shot on net. You don't get a shot, you don't get a goal. It's Sellers chasing the ball downfield, trying to get into position. The ball high to no success. Critical Force can't find anything. Crafters, we go to OT.
What a rough and tough game that these teams have just played. 3 high-scoring affairs back to back to back, and now a gritty, grisly 0-0 overtime. One mistake is going to be the difference between CCSW and potentially going to match point, and there it is! Critical Force just bounces to the midfield, and he slots it over with a volley. Cal made it set up the play, and Critical Force says, "Thank you very much, sir." CCSW 1 game away from taking the dub.
And a save probably going to be made there, but Cal gets an incredible bump in the incoming defender, denies the opportunity, and CCSW hits a match point, 3-1 up Crafters.
Yeah, and that was a way better game from them as well. Yep. I think from both teams, they've vastly improved themselves game upon game upon game now. And now the Vikings at an impasse with the series standing at 3-1 against them. Can they pull out another performance like that? I was going to mention as well, just before the end of regulation as we went into overtime, Sellers had I've been calling him a really smart player. He had another smart touch right in front of the net just before the clock hit 0 to go into overtime. He just punted the ball into the corner, and it didn't need to be a big clear. It just needed to be a touch out of the way. And Sellers has saved his team's Heine time and time again with these smart plays. Smart goals from him back in game number 3 as well. It's all a question of, can he rally the team around him and get themselves back in this series, as now CCSW have 3 match points.
The demo's coming out well from Kieran. Cal shot onto net, going to be saved well by Sellers. That ball bounces off the back wall. The York College Vikings defense will start to crumble as Critical Force, back to his game 1 and 2 form, gets the first goal of the game.
The fact that he's able to read that off the sidewall initially is just insane to me as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane to me, who's a hard stuck diamond player, but not to Critical Force. That's his bread and butter, and just slots it on the ground pinch. I don't know what you call it. I know if you get it over the player, it's a dunk. What if you dunk it under the player? Is there a term for that? Never really thought about that, but that's essentially what he did. He dunked it under the defender.
Well, York College Vikings, the match point against them They cannot afford to lose this game or be losing the series. A heavy touch off to the backboard. Both defenders missing it there. Sellers the last one to clean it up. IP off to the side over to Alphax. It will go. A pass to centre. Critical force. He can get another touch on this. A good launch up field. Kieran looks for the dunk. Can't find it as Sellers knows where to send that ball. Positioning is up to par. IP an unfortunate miss off the side. Alphax will be the one to bail him out of trouble. But we're not seeing any shots be developed from the York College Vikings. We'll see the ball be sent upfield, but the development just isn't there. There's no follow through coming. And that has been the most costly effort here for them.
It's their form from early in the series. They just weren't able to develop anything past the midfield line, like you say. But at the same time, CCSW seem a little bit more stood off. They seem a little bit more reserved to come forward because they know exactly what happened to them when they did so. And York College Vikings now, with a little bit of momentum on, or well, a little bit of help on their side in the terms of the game 3 that they had. Now they have the confidence that when CCSW come forward, they can punt it downfield. So now Sandstorm just holding back in their own half of the field, and this is very dangerous as it's hovering around in front of the net, freely able to get that one clear. Can Alphax get to it? Oh, that needed to be on target because no one was back. Kieran did get himself back in the nick of time, just in case it was. But Vikings needed to put that on target to at least test the defense and potentially get a fluky goal.
Over to Kieran. Heavy touch, he'll follow through on it. Flip reset attempt, can't get it onto net. Critical force waits on back. He does not want to overcommit, he does not want to make that kind of mistake.
Touch.
And a great idea to rotate back as well. Able to make the save, keep the game 1-0 in the CCSW favour. While York College Vikings are still hunting for their first goal in the game just to tie it up. It's Alphax to the side. Cal misses out. Could it be the chance that Alphax and Sellers need? Off to the back wall it will go. Great clearance away. Sellers has to scramble on back now because he and his teammates are relying on him to make this play happen.
Just one goal is needed from York College Vikings to tie this thing up. And they're going to be pushing with everything they have in the last minute and 40 seconds. And they are getting more shots as this has progressed on Boyle. And CCSW, all they know they need to do is hang on. And that will be game, set, and match. And this could be the final dagger as Critical Force couldn't quite keep it under the bar. Cal will follow up, but the defense holds strong once more. It's CCSW looking for the killing blow, but not to be at this juncture.
Sellers past one. Pinch off the ground. The defender there waiting. Two of them, in fact. Cal's able to make an easy save. But Alphax past one. Cal with a touch off to the side. Gets the ball into a good position. Over to Sellers now. Flip reset attempt. He has Alphax to help him out.
No.
It almost slips under the crossbar, but barely going to get saved away. Now a counter attack down the other end. It could end off the game just here. IP rushing in, gets demoed for his troubles. It's Sellers into centre, looking for a teammate, but Alphax can't make it in time. Cal with a save. IP round the back wall. Up to the ceiling and bouncing on down. Is anyone there for the shot? No, not this time. Sellers a heavy shot into centre. Cal with a clear off to the side. 30 seconds now. And CCSW, if they can hold on, they will win not just the game, but also the series. Down in front of net, the shot not to be found by IP. And Crafters, however much they throw at net, they still can't find the goal.
They seem to have had it. They had the play out there. They are ready-made. It was Sellers air dribbling it, and Alphax comes right over the top and steals it from him, tries to be the hero, but 5 seconds left. That might be a critical miss there from Kieran, but the ball's still in the air. Zero's on the clock. Alphax upfield, looking for the D redirect, and he won't get it. It bounces off the back wall innocently, and CCSW Sandstorm will go undefeated in the Swiss stage.
Huge work from CCSW Sandstorm. They win the series 4-1. And although game 1 and 2 was incredibly dominant, and game 3 was as well, game 4 and 5, both of these teams really gave us a treat. So huge props to York College Vikings. They gave us a good series by the end of it. But CCSW Sandstorm, they took advantage of their initial lead, and they just closed it out at the end. Very well played by them.
Yeah, very well played. But like I said, I think it was about a minute to go. I mentioned it just towards the end there. The Vikings had it. They had the play, and Alphax was just a little bit too impatient and tries to... I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to hold the ball. He's trying to get Sellers to hold the ball in front of net. Then he dunks it through, but it was just wrong play, wrong time. And if he just was a little bit more patient, the ball would have came to him, and it could have been tied at 1. But Boyle, but CCSW, I think deserved winners there. They played, I think, the more consistent Rocket League from start to finish in that series.
1000%. Incredibly deserving for that win, but yeah, it was a great game. And I mean, we saw some real stars coming out there. I think Sellers, although they lost that game, York College Vikings, he was their star player without a shadow of a doubt. The 6-goal game in game number 3 was incredible. The saves he was making as well in game 4 and game 5. Just unfortunate they couldn't close it out by the end, but huge props to him individually.
Yeah, huge props, but yeah, I mean, it's not all over for York College Vikings. We will see them again. They will be in the top 16 elimination bracket to find out who is going to be the champion of the North to get through to the national finals a little bit later on in the summer. But Boyle, we got one more match to go, and it's down in the south, in the Swiss stage down there. After this short break, we will have Eagles.exe versus Chai Cobra's Kings. You do not want to miss it. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone, to British Esports Student Champs National for Rocket League. We were just having a lovely conversation about the weather, boyo. But today is not cloudy with a chance of meatballs. It is sunny with a chance of Rocket League, and we have one game down on the docket and one game to go, boyo. We have just seen the York College Vikings be taken down, I should say, by the we've been seeing CCSW. I want to get the full name. The Cheshire College South and West. There you go. The Cheshire College South and West Sandstorm. They took them down 4-1, and now we move to the south, boyo. So further away from us, way up here in the north. We have the Eagles of Exeter taking on the Chichester Cobras. And yeah, this is looking like a good one. Again, two teams at the top of the South Division, 2-0 through the bracket. A couple of hiccups here and there, but for the most part, a pretty clean run.
Yeah, very clean run from both of these teams. And in the winter stage, it was actually the Eagles side able to go 5-1, meanwhile the Cobras side going 4-2. But those stats didn't actually matter in regards to the last game, because we seen that 4-2 team end up winning the series overall, so take that with a kind of pinch of salt at the end of the day.
Yeah, and here we go in our best of 7. Again, none of these teams will be eliminated today because we are in the 2-0 side of the Swiss stage bracket. Of course, Swiss stage, I love Swiss stages. Winners play the winners, losers play the losers. It all balances out. Nice, even games it should be in the end. Especially at this later stage of Swiss, we have the 2-0 teams undefeated to try to get their place at the top of the seeding for the top 16 bracket that's coming up over the course of the next few weeks. It's great to see in this competition starting to heat up as we get towards the national finals.
And I might have already found my favourite player name of the day with Average Hammenjoyer. Taking possession of the ball right now
really
as well.
Good, to be fair.
But a chance on to net. Average Hammenjoyer might be enjoying more than just a little bit of ham. Demo on Hex. Or by Daffel. J off to the side. Average Hammenjoyer upfield over to Dockland. Shot down to the backboard. A follow-up touch would be ideal. Not going to be found just yet. But Average Hammenjoyer bringing it into centre. The chance for Dockland begins to develop. Off the backboard, can't find a bump on the defender of J. But back to centre, the ball will go once again.
Sorry, I just keep laughing at Average Hammenjoyer. It's a unique username in this day and age. I'm also laughing at Dockland's wheels. It's not the best of cars, but Jay has a decent shot here to open the scoring right in front of net. It was a demo, in fact, on the orange team. I think Dockland got taken out and leaves the net wide open for the Exeter Eagles to strike first, 1-0 in game 1.
The Eagles find the first, but can the Cobras strike back? Just like the series we saw earlier on, and of course a best of 7.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to flame Dockland. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but come on, pick some better aesthetics, man. Come on.
I think the wheels are fine. I think you're being overly critical.
I'm being a little bit facetious. It's just jarring seeing the white Carmine Corp body with purple wheels. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything for me. Maybe it does something for you, but that's a great pinch from Jay. If that went in, we've seen a lot of good goals today, boyo. But if that went in, that's goal of the day. Maybe goal of the tournament.
Well, a good try by Jay, and save on the line as well. Replacing Jay on the ball as Jay with a B at the end. Dockland. We'll try and push that ball into centre. Hex. Gets a pass 1 off the side while he will go to the backboard. Follow-up touch, not to be found just yet. JB. Gonna get it away for now. With Jay helping him out. We'll push this ball further upfield. The Eagles could find another goal on the board. It's JB in front of net. Shot to be taken and goal to be found.
It's been a slower start to this series than we saw in our last one. But now Exeter starting to find their feet. JB. And a nice little shot there. Hexanis. Just not reading that too well. I think if he didn't flip and just boosted towards that ball, he might have got the save away. And it is the Exeter Eagles with first blood again, 2-0. Now with 2 minutes left, and we'll see if the Chichester Cobras and Average Ham Enjoyer. I'm sorry, it's a really funny name. I do appreciate it though, Mr. Ham.
No, or maybe it's Mr. Average.
Mr. Average. No, I don't want to call him average.
That's like a really sad Mr. Men. Mr. Average.
Well, if there's Average Ham Enjoyer, where's Average Ham Enthusiast? We need them on the field as well.
Well, that's obviously what Docklin is.
Oh,
Docklin, obviously, the average ham enthusiast.
Clearly. So someone photoshopped that. Average ham enjoyer and average ham enthusiast, but Docklin's enjoying that one for sure. Puts the Cobras back within one with just over a minute left.
2-1 for the Eagles. They keep the lead intact, but still got a ways to go. A minute 17 left on the clock for game number 1. And the Cobras strike on back once again and tie things up, but it was Docklin early on to send the ball upfield. Denied well by Daffo. Here's JB. Round the back wall into centre it will go. It's a big pinch upfield. An overcommit from the Eagles side. Can they make it back in time? Yes, they can. Daffo just there in time. Shot onto net once again. Off the post. It will bounce perfectly for the Average Ham Enjoyer to tie up the game.
Oh, this is a great shot as well. And it doesn't go in, but it forces Jay to jump. And he'll enjoy that one as Mr. Ham, Mr. Enjoyer, will tie things up for the Cobras. 56 seconds remaining. And this one's still in play. Both these teams back and forth. Bit of a slow start for the Cobras, but they've found their feet, or I suppose Cobras don't really have feet. They found their
scales.
What does snakes don't have the scales? Yeah, sure, why not? But there's another wide open net. Docklin, he demoed out JB, and it will be Average Ham Enjoyer to send them in to the leads.
Average Ham Enjoyer scores when he wants to. He may have sent it off the post originally, but it does think on in eventually. 3-2 now, but the Cobras return the tide of game number 1. At least in their favour, 40 seconds left to go, Crafters. Can they close it on out here? Can the Eagles get one more goal on the board to give us potentially an overtime?
It was a great ball in from Ham Enjoyer out of the corner. Really put the pressure on the defense to get this one away, and they do. Here comes Jay. Big air dribble from him. Gets it past one. And will lose possession right there. JB trying to follow up, and now Jay on the rotation through the middle. But that's a great pick from Docklin to send that one back to the blue half and start the Exeter Eagles all over again. Datho gets the doink up from his teammate, but denied by Hexanus. And that is probably going to do it.
Okay.
Rocketed right off the bar. Could have been 4, but it doesn't matter. Hits the floor, and the Cobras take game 1.
A good game won by the Cobras. Shows some good resolve. Coming back at the end of it. 3-2. But the Cobras for game number 1. But the Eagles certainly showed some great promise at the start of the game. It was just the Cobras really kind of cemented themselves as the favourites as the latter half of the game came on into play. What the Eagles need to do now is kind of get back into that start of game form and keep that consistent. They let some easy goals go by at points with the post really being their biggest enemy. If they can clean that up and have someone back in position ready to get the clearance away off of a missed shot or off of a kind of close attempt, then they won't be conceding goals in the same fashion that they did in game number 1. Early on, though, getting punished for their mistakes, they'll not get scored on just yet.
Not quite yet, but starting fresh here in game number 2. And I'll start fresh with my pronunciation as well. Thank you to chat for... I don't have the best of luck with pronouncing things, do I, Boyo?
No, you're actually notoriously bad at it.
Notoriously bad. As someone who, talks for a living, somewhat, I pronounce stuff way badly, but it's
rivaled only by Danny Boy.
Yeah, rivaled only by Danny Boy is Betancos. Hexanes, not Hexanus.
There's a reason I've been calling him just Hex the whole time, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
To receive the ball upfield, can't get a touch on it.
You do it really smart. We're both from the same part of the world, but yeah, you hide our flaws in our dialect.
I don't have flaws, that's why.
Sure, why not?
What I do have, though, is the eyes on Jay, on the ball. To the backboard now it will go. With Hex in a bad touch out to centre, Daffo can take full advantage off to the backboard. It will go, shot by JB, saved. Can Jay follow it up? Yes, he certainly can. Saved by the Average Ham Enjoyer. He may be the average ham enjoyer, but he may be the best player on the pitch right now for the Cobras, doing everything that he can to save them in this game so far.
Yeah, he's really getting in amongst it, making the critical plays where it really matters, but this could be critical here as Docklin and Hectanes both missed on the back line, and I think it was Docklin actually who recovered before any Eagles could get a shot off. It's going to be really interesting to see how the next passage of play shapes out, and what a save there from Havenjoyer. That was certainly a goal there by Datho. 98% of the time that goal was in, but well played by Havenjoyer to put himself in the line of fire.
Well, it feels it goes for JB. Into centre, saved by Docklin. Hex is getting in position, he's looking for a demo. He is chasing down Daffo, cannot find the bump on him in time. Instead gets demoed himself by JB. Into centre, the ball will go. Average Havenjoyer, who's got a low boost, he'll turn on the shot though. JB gets the save. Hex is up, good touch into centre. Daffo was there for the clearance. Docklin has to be careful playing back. He's got one teammate behind him, but does not want to overcommit. A good touch by average Havenjoyer. He's got the boost to follow up on it as well. The pass it over to Docklin, the shot not to be found. In front of net, the ball will bounce over to Hex, it will go. A pass on back, and no connection just yet. Off to the side where the ball will bounce, and it's Daffo to get the clearance away.
Yeah, it's just really scrappy that right now, isn't it? Both teams fighting for possession, fighting for control, fighting for a look at the goal. It's not going to come anyone's way. I think Jay was getting in amongst it there. Did look like he could maybe get a touch through, but Cobra smartly put it in the corner before any danger can amount. But Datho comes out of nowhere and finds X to the first goal of the game.
A 1-0 start for the Exeter Eagles. Finally getting one goal on the board for game number 2. 2 minutes left to go, and the first has been scored. We've seen so many chances come out for the Cobras that the Eagles side have got to be careful, because the Cobras certainly can shoot. They may not have scored just yet, but they have been mightily close.
Yeah, and creeping ever closer. I mean, that's the same story as game number 1, wasn't it, Boyo?
Yep.
Chichester were down and out for most of that game, and just like that as well, Datho will get a second on the board. Lovely positional play, gets it off the wall here from Havenjoyer and puts it where Hectanes can't get to it. And once again, the Cobras with a deficit with a minute 40 odd left on the clock. What can they do now? What resilience can they show? Can we see the average Havenjoyer have a better than average performance?
It's exactly what the Eagles
not.
want to see. Get a lead and cement it into place. 3-0. Only 90 seconds left to go, Crafters. Looking great for the Eagles.
Soaring high. After being down in the doldrums, after, like you said, not a solid lead in the first game, a 2-0 lead, now a 3-0 lead here, and it's the sands of time are ticking away for the Cobras. Could even be 4 if the Jay could turn that one in. Not quite everyone, or excuse me, I think that was Datho flying up for that one. But down the field it comes. Here comes Docklin to try and get one back for the Cobras, but not to be. And the Exeter Eagles, I think everyone was up there, boy, and they did so well to get themselves back into position to make sure that sheet stays clean for the time being.
Over the J, heavy touch, 50-50 with average Havenjoyer. Here comes Hex. Can't find anything just yet. JB. Off to the side. Heavy touch up high for Docklin. Saved by Daffo as it rolls on out to the corner. It'll be Jay getting a heavy touch away. Into centre now. Is anyone there for the follow-up? Not quite just yet. There, JB to the backboard. Follow-up touch. Can he find it? No boost in the tank. Off to the backboard once again. No one there for the shot. Instead, down to the other end. The game might just be over at this stage, but Cobra certainly don't believe so.
Well, hold the phone just a second. It's 1 back. They need 2 in the next 28 seconds. And they might need one off of a kickoff at that as well. But all hope is not lost yet for the Cobras, and the Exeter Eagles, they don't want to go to sleep just quite yet. Want to get one back on the board, make this a tie series at 1-1. Docklin has a chance here at the corner, 0 boost, but Jay shuts that one down before anything can progress. Really smart, and upfield as well, and that is probably going to seal it. 1-1 in the series now, boy. This one's starting to take shape.
1-1 the series score will become. With 18 seconds left, a free goal comeback is necessary, and I don't see it happening, I'll be completely real. 4-1 though, for the Exeter Eagles. Game number 2. A real statement to be made after the comeback found by the Cobras in that first game. Great work from the Eagles, but can they keep it up for game 3 and onwards?
We'll have to wait and see, but it's certainly promising. As Average Hammondjoyer, he was the star of the show back in game number 1, wasn't he? And he's just gone to sleep. He's eaten all his ham and he's fallen into a food coma by the looks of things. But yeah, I mean, there's positives obviously to take away from Cobras on that one. They defended somewhat well. I think when they were coming downfield, they were getting themselves into nice positions, but the Eagles were just above and beyond in that one, and certainly have found their feet and looking to carry on their I was going to say unblemished record, obviously 4-0 or sorry 2-0 in series, 8-1 in terms of games. The one game that they dropped was last week to SGS, first shot, and now they drop one here to Chichester Cobras, but on the winning horse once again as we start game number 3.
The ball rolls round in front of the Eagles' net. It'll be Daffel. Gets it past 1. He has Jay in waiting centre with a monstrous flick over to Jay as well. Off to the side, well, it will go. Dockland can't get a follow-up touch, but the Cobras falling over each other's feet there at the back line. It's Daffel now off to the side with Dockland getting a heavy touch on out. Over to Jay, flip reset. He's going to use it for recovery off the wall. The good use of that flip nonetheless, but with Dockland getting a big touch upfield, the defense has to stand strong. Great save in the back line by Daffel. Average Hammondjoyer can't make it through, and Daffel with good control, whatever can he do? Up to the backboard, can't find a touch on through, but JB, he certainly can. Denied well by Dockland.
Yeah, they've been playing a really good defense here. Good prevent defense from the Cobras. Just trying to push their opponents back, and they're doing a decent enough job at it. But it's now about turning those defensive stops into shooting chances and putting the Eagles under a little bit more pressure, because everything's quite open right now. Everyone's having the space to work with that they want on both ends of the ball, that is. But that's a nice little pass there from Hammondjoy over to Dockland. Couldn't quite find the last on-target shot, and Dockland actually recovers well. Gets a shot off the ceiling over to Hexan, and he puts it in the back of the net.
That was so well played by Clun. Off to the ceiling, off the backboard, and down perfectly for Hex to get the goal. The Cobras go 1-0 up. 90 seconds gone on by, and that was a brilliant bit of play right there.
Yeah, really well worked. So you saw it building a little bit as well. Cobras looking to build these passing plays between themselves, not try to play hero ball. They want to win as a team, they lose as a team. And right now they're on top as Average Hammondjoy tries to drop that one down, pinches it off the backboard. The rest of the Cobras just lying in wait back in the midfield. Doesn't get you goals, but it keeps you possession, and that could be critical in the late stages of this one. But a demo in net from Dathel clears the way for JB.
The demos so clinical in every game of Rocket League. You'll see Average Hammondjoy, the last man back because of it, can't find the touch, and JB sends it into the back of net. One apiece in both game and series. 2 minutes 54 on the clock. This net's goal vitally important for whatever team can find it. Could it be the Cobras here with Hex to the backboard? Another touch from Average Hammondjoy to the backboard as well. Dockland tried but beaten to the ball. Average Hammondjoy to the back once again. With Jay ready for the clean-up. Will not be punished on just yet. Good control by Jay. We're going to get the ball out of harm's way. He's got boost to do so. To send it upfield. Looks for the bump. Can't find it. Ooh. But Daffel gets it past the incoming attacker.
A little bit of miscommunication there between Hexan and Hammondjoyer. Both in the same place at the same time and both missing the same ball. Not punished for it, and they may live to regret it in the end. If you don't learn from your mistakes by conceding a goal, you might not learn from them. But a couple of that's a big demo. I thought that was the other way, but it's JB who does get the demo, and it falls back into the hands of the Exeter Eagles. And that is really end-to-end stuff right now, Boyo. I talked about I want to see one team really retain possession, but it's really end-to-end right now. bashing downfield. One shot here, one shot there. Who's going to take control? Who's going to keep this in their own hands and take a lead?
Good save there by Jay. Both teams have had their fair share of chances to take the lead, but the Cobra are certainly looking like the favourites to do so. JB upfield, caught by Docklin. Round to the corner. Over to Average Ham Enjoyer. Off to the corner by Jay once more. The Cobra is passing around each other incredibly well, but cannot find that finishing touch to get a goal once again on the board. Now to Jay in centre. The Eagles have a chance. Daffo with the shot, but off the bar, he will barely miss on out. Back to centre, nothing to be found. It's sent to Jay as he waits, scrambling in the back line. Needs help from JB, and help he will find. Docklin to a wide open net. He should be scoring this, but the post will play spoiler.
An open net miss, both ends of the field. Both players had all day to shoot, and they end up fluffing their lines and hitting the woodwork. Fine margins like that, Boyo, that can be the margin between victory and defeat. And both these teams towing that line to a T. And this is very dangerous. As Average Ham Enjoyer, I thought he had no boost, and I looked at his boost counter, he's got full, and I'm like, how the heck is he coming downfield so slowly? But look at Docklin painting that top left corner. It puts the Cobras right back in front.
Off the bar and into the back of it. It's Docklin and a one-on-one against Daffo to slot it on in. 23 seconds to go, and the Cobras take a lead at the dying moments of the game.
Can they hold on to it though? The last goal they scored was countered so quickly by the Eagles, and it looks to be they look to be doing it again as Dato trying to take it under all three defenders. Not to be, and Jake just missing that off the side wall. Cobras might have got away with one here, but JB's not going to let it go so easily. Up to meet that ball is Docklin and JB, but no one is there from Exeter to try and have a go at this. In fact, Datho has full boost into JB in the middle. It's in fact Jay who takes the shot, and it goes towards the corner and hits the ground, and the Cobras will take the lead in the series.
I thought for a moment Daffo was going to be able to keep that ball up, but just missing out on it. It's a game win found once again for the Cobras, sending themselves 2-1 up in the series. Game number 4 going to be coming in their way very, very shortly. And the Cobras, they win this game, can push themselves to match point.
Yeah, they can, and I really can't call it at this point, Boyo, because both teams have been really back and forth, and both making mistakes at their own end of the field, and both coming out with top-notch plays as well. I called the last one thinking it could go all the way to Game 7. This could certainly go all the way to the final game of the series. Who is going to take command? That is going to be the big question here.
I think quality-wise and how close these two teams have been playing, it certainly looks like it could go all the way. But with a series like this as well, it could be as close as could be, but you could just see one team almost always edge it out. Cobra's currently having that advantage so far. No, this will keep that being the case. Docklin upfield early on. The earlier you can find the goal, the better. Off to the backboard, it's high. Average Ham Enjoyer. He's not just enjoying Ham, he's enjoying that goal explosion as well. 1-0 for the Cobras.
And that's well worked as well. The defense in a flurry, not really sure what they were trying to do, and they're just flummoxed. And Average Ham Enjoyer just peeks his head out and slams that one down for the Cobras to take the 1-0 early lead. And again, this is wide open. Can Docklin get to it? Yes, he can. Racing to the ball, and no one is there to stop Docklin.
Yeah, the Cobras, they want to hit to match point. JV tries to rush on back, but nowhere near making it in time. Great work for the Cobras to make it 2-0.
And I think this is the biggest lead that we've seen for the Cobras so far. They were down 2-0 in the first game and brought it back to 3-1. They lost the second game 4-1, and they barely scraped away with a victory in the last game. Now with a slightly more comfortable lead, and well, Datho not making them look comfortable whatsoever. He does get demoed back by Average Ham Enjoyer for his troubles. You demo my teammates, I demo you, says Ham Enjoyer, and take this as well. Could be a goal, and it will be. Ham Enjoyer sets up Hexus for 3-0.
And the average ham enjoyer has given us a spectacle, but a great goal from Hex to go along with it makes it 3-0 for the Cobras in Game 4. We talked about how close this series had been so far, but that Crafters has been flipped on its head completely.
What a play as well. And oh, this could be open, it will be. Jay strikes back with a vengeance. I think it was demoed, no, I think it was Datho who was demoed out after he demoed all 2 of the 3 Cobras. But Jake taking retribution here right off the kickoff, saying, no, not so fast, you snaky boys. It'll be 3-1. Still with Chichester in control of this one. Could be 4, in fact, as the nets open off the kickoff once more. Hexans looking for that 3-goal lead yet again, but here come Exeter Eagles. JB off the backboard and Datho to finish. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Boyle, the goal gap has been reduced to 1.
Well, I had a fear that this game could be a runaway for the Cobras, but Daffo and the rest of the Exeter side have really said no to that prospect. 3-2 now for the Cobra side. Meanwhile, the Exeter Eagles, I mean, a good work at a comeback here. Might just have a comeback with a tied-up game. It's only been 30 seconds since it was 3-0, and now it's 3-3.
3-3. Oh, man. Exeter Eagles are just... You can keep them down as long as you want, and they seem to rise from the ashes. Actually renaming themselves to Exeter Phoenix. At 3-3, just as it seemed Cobras were in full control, it's Datho who puts the Exeter Eagles back at the forefront of this picture, of this series. And with all the momentum, not even halfway through this game, this is the highest scoring game of the series, and make it a 7th, a 4th for Exeter as JB puts them back in front.
4 goals in a row for the Exeter Eagles, unanswered by the Cobra side. They may have started 3-0 up, but the Eagles don't seem to really care about that. 4-3 now, 2 minutes 45 to go. And the Eagles have made a monstrous comeback.
Oh, could it be dampened? Yes, it will, just like that. This is, I said this was back and forth. This is taking it to the extreme, Boyle, though. And this has been a staple of the Exeter kickoff as well. They've been leaving their net open pretty much for the first 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds after kickoff. And now the Cobra is taking advantage of it. Look at that. Jay just comes out of net and follows this one down. Does get the demo, and that's really clever to try and give themselves the advantage early on. But when that goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong. And it gives Cobras the chance to tie it up, and they did. Now at 4-4, Boyle. We were calling this 3-0. Not even a half-time, but the half-time whistle goes, and we're tied at 4 of all scores.
Well, this has actually been our highest scoring game of the day. I believe the highest scoring before that was 6-1, so 7-goal game. Now got to an 8-goal game, and it's guaranteed to make it to 9. 4-4 in game number 4. First to 4 in terms of the series as well. Average Hammond releases that ball off for Dockland, can't find anything of it. Nobody's in the tank, needs a teammate to help him out. We'll find exactly that with Hex. Dockland pushing that ball upfield. Jay back to the corner, he'll go, but Hex is quick into the approach. Average Ham to Dockland, nothing to be found just yet.
This is really starting to become scrappy. It's been scrappy all series, really, but there's been times where it's been nice and free-flowing, and then just gets down and dirty in front of net. Here comes Datho to... That's a great pinch off the floor by Hammondjoy. It does go to JB, and that's a double commit in front of net by the defenders for Chichester Cobras. And I think they're a little bit lucky there, Boyle, to not have conceded. They take themselves out of possession, and Exeter Eagles were just not ready to take a shot.
Daffo, he's got no boost, but he certainly has possession.
Oh, boy.
It's a great try, but barely, and I mean barely, going wide. Average Hammond draws to the backboard, good clear away by Dockland, sorry. Jay. Off to the back, it's Average Hammond Joyer once again. Been quite a while without a goal, which is odd to say for this game. 40 seconds left to go, 4-4 the scoreline remains. Dockland a great save, Jay's up for it. A pass on back to JB, but Dawkins wins the 50. Daffo on his lonesome. The pinch a little bit too heavy around the back wall. Daffo bullying the incoming attacker to keep him off that ball. But it's Hex, he's up for it. Jay to the ceiling. An attempted bump from Daffo, neither can be found. Overtime is looming in the distance, Crafters. I think we might just be heading that way. Over to Hex it will go. Off the back wall, good save. A last try from Daffo into centre. JB's up.
Oh, no
and
way!
JB will find it. The Exeter Eagles take the game on 0 seconds to tie up the series.
Right at the stroke of midnight, Cinderella turns back into a pumpkin, and the Chichester Cobras, oh my goodness, the comeback is complete for Exeter Eagles. 3-0 down at the start of the game. They rallied back to 4-4, kept it really tight, and fire at the last second. My goodness, if you look at the shot count, like 5 shots for Chichester, and yeah, it was really even throughout. But no, by the way, no saves for Exeter. How the heck has that happened? That is nuts.
Got away with making no saves is crazy.
No saves.
But they have got away with a 0-second winner to tie up the series 2 apiece, Crafters.
Oh man, what I don't know how the heck they managed that. But props to them, because they have now made themselves, I would say they've made themselves favourite in this series now, Boyle, because they've shown resilience to battle back from as low down as they were. 3-0. It looked like Cobras had everything going their way. They were in full control, and then the Eagles wake up. They just woke up, put the pressure on Cobras, and just like that end up rallying back to win the game and tie this series up. Oh boy, I told you we had a heck of a series on our hands. We certainly do. Could go all the way to 7 this.
Certainly could. Game number 5, the winner of this, heading to match point. The series at the tip of their fingers. It's a good save there by Jay. Docklin off to the side, it's Daffo. A pass upfield, Jay can't receive. Here comes JB. To the corner. Needs some help from a teammate, none will be found just yet. With Jay off to the corner once more, a pass into centre. Still going to be denied. Average Ham and Joy are looking for a 50-50. Jay back towards his own net. Luckily for him, not on target. He's going to have to take possession back from his own half.
Yeah, as the Eagles just sort of reset themselves here. I think the aggressiveness from the Cobras just kind of really went away in the second half of that last game, didn't it? After putting the pressure on the defense, they were just quite happy to sit back and let the pressure come their way. Chances they did get weren't really planned and thought out. And the Eagles just absorbed that pressure. See if they can continue it here in game number 5. Whoever wins this goes to match point, of course, Boyo, and could be on their way to securing top of this Swiss stage here in the southern region, and giving themselves a really good seeding going into the top 16 bracket.
Daffo shot into net, going to be saved by Docklin. Up is JB to the backboard now. Here comes Jay. Heavy touch off to the side, not going to find anything of it. JB to Daffo. Shot onto net. Off the bar, and in it will go. Daffo makes it 1-0.
That he does, and again, the defense for Cobras just all out of sorts. We've seen that really on both ends of the field, haven't we? Defense, as soon as they get one clear, they're in a hot mess. And another shot coming their way, they just don't really seem to know what to do with it. That's exactly what happened with the Cobras there. And now Datho. It's probably been the highlight player on Exeter Eagles, and carrying his team through adversity throughout the course of this series. But here comes Datho again off the pass from, I believe that was Jay, up in the air. Actually, I think it was JB. One of the two. They both got J's in their name. They both look like Jay. Like, give me a break. But 1-0 Exeter. I don't know if the Cobras can battle back here, Boyo, because they don't seem to know what to do with it here.
Oh,
but that's a lovely doink into the bottom right corner. Say a prayer and it floats in.
It's a great goal from Jay, but I wanted Jay to get that touch so badly. He almost gets it, but a doink from Jay makes it 2-0 for the Eagles. Half the game to go for game number 5, and if the Eagles win it, they'll head to match point.
Yeah, and then just continuing their dominance here, aren't they, Boyo? Cobra's just seem really lost now. What has happened? After confidently striding out in Game 4, 3-0 to the good, and now just everything going against them. They've really fallen asleep, and they've not given us anything to rave about ever since losing that 3-goal advantage. And Exeter Eagles, they're just having a field day, just playing their game, not under a whole ton of pressure. And the Cobras just seem lost here on DFH Stadium.
Yeah, the Eagles have really woken up here. And
oh,
fourth and fifth game, to be totally honest. The start of the Game 4 wasn't their best, but the end certainly was. In Game 5, they look to continue that kind of pressure. If they keep up pace like this, I don't see this going to Game 7. I'll be frank about it. I think they'll end it in Game 6. But what can the Cobras do to maybe deny that idea? A good attack developing, but they can't get the shot onto net. Hex off to the side. A pass attempt to centre. Dropkin has to wait on back, being patient. Can't find anything of it. To the side once again is a heavy touch upfield. Over to Daffo, no connection. It's Dropkin down. The Cobras need 2 goals in 1 minute. Very much doable for them. We've seen them do it already, of course, in Game 4. We can't do it here in Game 5, and it's crunch time.
Oh, they had an open net there. Actually, Docklin will slam that one through the defense to get the first goal that they need. 53 seconds, still plenty of time to get this. I was going to say they missed a chance in an open net. I think Hammondjoy coming out the corner was wanting to put that straight onto target, but off the post was good enough. And it puts Chichester back within striking distance. 1 goal is all they need to perhaps send us to overtime. But that's a lovely play there by Jay out of the net. And Exeter just need to hold on. They need to play their game. They've been doing so well to keep the possession in their favour for most of this game. But really for the last 30 seconds or so, Boyo, it has been the Cobras with all the momentum, all the time on the ball. And that's an essential save there from Hammondjoy.
Well, average Hammondjoy up down the other end. It's Hex off the side, well passed down to Hammondjoy, shot onto net, but save on the line by JB. Docklin can't do anything about it. 10 seconds left to go. Another goal for Exeter will secure the game, but the Cobras still have one last chance, just if they can get possession. Jay misses out on the touch. It's upfield. Average Hammondjoy denied. Exeter take the game and send themselves to match point.
A little bit too little too late there from Cobras. Probably wanted to score that one about half-time instead of with a minute to go. But yeah, they just looked a little bit more a little bit more tired, a little bit more fatigued. They did have that rally at the end there, but like I said, too little too late. And Exeter Eagles with all the momentum, everything really just going their way right now, Boyle. They don't show any signs of stopping. I don't know what the Cobras can do here, Boyle. What do you reckon is their key to victory, if anything, to get this to Game 7?
They seemed very lethargic at the start of that game, where they were getting pushed back a lot, not really creating chances for themselves, and that did seem to be the biggest kind of costly aspect. Exeter Eagles, on the other hand, they were making plays, they were forcing errors into happening for the Cobras. And the Cobras, first of all, have to not allow that, which is of course easier said than done, but they have to start creating chances of their own, start making Exeter play their game, which Exeter, we've seen them, they can do that very well, but it will certainly be a lot more difficult for them in an uncomfortable position.
Trying to take the first goal is going to be so crucial here. Can the Cobras do it, or will Exeter keep their streak going here? One game is all they need to take this victory, take this win, and go into the top 16 on fire. Remember, getting a better seed is always going to help you out. You could even face the wildcard qualifier coming through from that side of things in this somewhat elaborate competition, but nonetheless, a double demo will make it a 2v2 for the time being. Pass over to JB from Dath, who doesn't find pay dirt. And very tentative, you would say, from both teams here, Boy, at the start of such a crucial game number 6.
A lot of demos coming out, and I actually like to see this aggression coming from both teams. I do think maybe taking this whole kind of demo idea to maybe the wrong degree here, a lot of these demos have been very much unnecessary, and of course it can have a mental effect on the players, kind of a little bit of tilting to get demo when you don't really need to, but the effort should be focused more so on demoing them in the defensive aspects and the kind of incoming attack.
That's open.
Because that can be kind of a punishment you get for it. You're too focused on bumps and demos when they don't really matter. You get yourself caught out of position, you're going to get scored on. That's what the focus has to change to, is demoing and bumping at the right times.
Certainly so. So he's trying to strike that right balance. The Cobras off to the better start here. And a double demo there from Hexanes. I'll find some way of pronouncing that consistently. Today is not that day. He gets 2 demos to start things off. Could have easily been 2-0 if Chichester could have got that back in their favour. Hammond Joyer, couldn't keep himself flat enough to send that net bound. But it does give Exeter a lot to think about. And trying to keep this Cobras team at bay, desperate for a win to send this to Game 7.
Here's Jay, rushing that ball upfield. Denied well by Hex, and a big miss off the sidewall. That one barely slipping past the back of the net here. As things currently stand with Game 7 on our hands, but what can the Exeter Eagles do to possibly deny it? Right now it's Docklin, attempting to secure the game for the Cobras. Jay, denied well by Hex. It's Daffo back, drops the ball down to his own backboard. An attempted bump on the goalkeeper, not going to be found just yet. Daffo chasing that ball upfield. Here comes the average Hammond Joyer. Off to the backboard. The Eagles stuck in their own half. The Cobras really doing a good job at really what I was hoping for, playing their game and making the Exeter team struggle in the back line.
There's a real struggle right now, but an open net really for JB. He doesn't shoot. When he lets the defense get back and then decides to shoot. There's been a lot of empty space though, Boyo. This ball ends up in a wide open space, about 90% of the challenges that we see. And then again, Docklin just challenging that ball into open space, has time to shoot but can't turn the corner. Chichester still with this 1 goal advantage, 1 goal back from Exeter, and it's wiped out completely. But the Cobras are really doing a good job at stopping the Eagles coming forward and finding space of their own.
The average Hammond Joy, a heavy touch off the side. It's JB. Sends that ball long upfield. It's Hex. Denied for just a moment. Jay to the backboard. Is anyone there for the follow-up touch? JB will be the man to do so. Jay should be going for a bumper demo there. He's left that net really unchallenged. It needs a save to be found for the Cobras. It's Jay now to the backboard once again. Into centre, still nothing to be found. And it rolls on round the back corner. Daffo, heavy touch off to the side. It'll roll on away. A minute left to go. And Daffo cannot push that ball any further.
Really well read by Hexanes. Off the wall and just puts it into a dead spot in the field with no one around. And makes Exeter start all over again. With 34 seconds, ball's in their court, shot towards net from Datho. It's an easy enough save for Docklin and tries to bring it down the other end to double the lead. Off the post, 24 seconds left. It could have been it for Cobras to send it to a deciding game number 7. But the Cobras still have work to do. Oh, a lovely pass and a lovely shot from Hexans. 2-0 Exeter down. Chichester Cobras have really rallied back. And we'll force Game 7 here, Boyo.
It seems almost guaranteed now, with 15 seconds to go. Unless the Eagles can find something off this kickoff, which did not went very favourably for them. Daffo will certainly try. Hex, not the best of touches, but time is ticking down. It will be guaranteed now. Game number 7 coming our way. It's the Eagles against the Cobras. JB, can he find one for good measure? No, he cannot. The Cobras take the game.
I thought that was a lock for him to score right at the end because I've already written down 2-0 as the score. But, my goodness, Cobras. So look at that, 7 saves from Docklin. I didn't even really clock on about how much he was having to put up in defence, but those stats tell a story. Exeter were throwing everything at that, but Docklin was just a menace in the backfield. And there were so many times that those saves as well, Boyle, translated into counter-attacks downfield and put Exeter under a lot of pressure to try and, you know, rally back from that 1-0 deficit, 2-0 towards the end. But my goodness, Dockland doing bits in net, and it's a thankless job at times. Even from us, we didn't even really pick up on it, how much he was doing in defense. But I think Dockland really didn't score, but really won that game for the Cobras.
Oh, I've got to agree. He did do a great job in the back line, and now it's all back to even coming into Game 7. No one has this advantage. It all comes down to these next 5 minutes, Crafters. It's Eagles against the Cobras. Game number 7. The winner takes the series. The loser falls at the final hurdle.
Yeah, this is it. This is where you want to make your mark, and with trying to get momentum going through into the final top 16 bracket, where at that point it will be do or die. But to have the bragging rights, because these two teams could end up meeting later on in the bracket, maybe towards the quarter, maybe the semi, maybe even the regional final, to decide who goes to LAN. But that's all still in the distance. But right here, right now, it's all come down to this final Game 7 today, Boyle. One of these teams will be going perfect in Swiss. The other will have a long, arduous bracket ahead of them.
Well. Game number 7. A clean slate. But for how long will that be the case? Because Daffo, with only 30 seconds needed, has found the first goal for the Exeter Eagles.
Right back where they left off at the end of game number 5. Didn't score in that last game, but that certainly helps the team morale here in a do-or-die situation. It's where you want to be, in the lead, early on. Question is now, can you hold on to it?
Off the backboard, it's Dockland. Trying to get the pass upfield, but gets a missed touch instead. It's JB now to pass into centre. Jay's already up for it. The shot onto net will narrowly miss on out. The follow-through not going to be there either. It's a great try, but not going to find it. 1-0 the score remains. The Cobras hunting for a goal of their own, but they can't even get out of their own half. It's JB to the backboard. The ball is up. So close for Daffo, but Jay is there. It's 2-0.
Some would call it a fake, some would call it a miss. What I call it is a brilliant play from Daffo. Forces the players to look high. I think they wouldn't have recovered either way, even if he did hit it. But it opens the door and the Eagles up 2-0. They say fly Eagles fly, and these Eagles are soaring there as Daffo makes it 3.
It feels so familiar to the game we saw earlier, I believe game number 4. But it was the Cobras who got a lead less in this manner. And it was the Eagles who made the comeback to then go and win the game by the end of it. Could we see a similar tale told on the other side of the pitch? Or will this be too much for the Cobras to come back from? It's 3-0 already. It's not even been 90 seconds. Only now just passing. With Daffo sending that ball upfield. Denying the chance of a Cobra comeback just yet. Keeping the ball out of their possession is all he has to do. Shot to net, to the back where it will bounce. Jay upfield, rushing for the ball. It could be goal number 4 incoming, but JB, a big mess in front of net.
How crucial is that going to be though? Because Exeter look unstoppable, and there's the 4th. The Cobras just look like they've been hit by a freight train. They have no idea what the heck has come out of the traps here. And Exeter show no signs of slowing down. They've found their feet again. They've found 4-0. And we're not even halfway through game 7.
4-0. We're not even halfway there yet. The Exeter Eagles with their backs pushed against the wall, and they woke up big time. Into the Cobras, you think you have a chance, or we think otherwise. Because game 4 so far has been a bloodbath. They don't show any signs of slowing down.
Yeah, no signs of stopping right now. And the Cobras, even with some empty nets that Exeter are leaving open, they just don't seem under threat whatsoever. Cobras look lost. They've slithered away to the wrong part of the world. clueless where they are, but Havertz Hammondjoyer could make it one and start to claw this back. Not to be, as he couldn't find the final touch to send that into the net. And this could be one back down the other way, or at least puts, I was going to say Chicago, but puts the Cobras in a tough spot on the back line. Could be 5, not to be. They do hold their lines for the moment and keep this at somewhat manageable scoreline.
Well, Jay taking control. Daffo upfield.
No
that
way.
Is a massive pen, but
post.
it's just not in. The Cobras cannot catch their break. Every chance they've had is so narrowly missed out. 4-0, the score remains encrafted. It feels like it's becoming too little too late. There's 90 seconds left. There's 4 goals needed just to go to overtime. The Cobras are barely going to get the ball in the Eagles' half.
Remember game 5, it was only 2-0. Entering the final minute, Cobras got one back, and that's the way it stayed. Now entering the final minute, they have to find 4. Hexans off the backboard will be denied by Jay, and the defense is just buzzing around right now for the Eagles. They are not giving any quarter here as we enter the final minute. Cobras need 4 to at least tie it and send it to OT. One more for the Eagles, and you can put a nice little bow on it.
Off to the backboard. Time is ticking. Realistically, this is the last chance that they have, and it's been denied well by JV.
They've got to score now.
It's not happening. There's a victory lap here for the Exeter Eagles. 4-0, uncontested here in game number 7. There is still time left, but that's not time for 4 goals to be scored. I'll be completely real about it. The Exeter Eagles, they may have went the distance, but when it mattered most, they put a shift in. And they said to the Cobras, you just don't have a chance against us, we are better.
That they are, and they've shown it from top to tail. I mean, you remember back to game number 1, the Eagles were 2-0 up and lost that game, but here they're 4-0 up and take the series. It took all 7 games, but the Eagles will be soaring high going in to the playoff bracket.
A massive win there for the Eagles. They take it in game number 7. It went the distance, it was close the whole way until that final game occurred. Huge props to the Eagles, huge props to the Cobras as well for going that far, getting a really good run in that game. But GG's to the Eagles.
Yeah, GG's Eagles. They did themselves proud today, and given themselves a really good seeding going in to the top 16 bracket. Of course, top 15 from the Swiss stages of both North and South will make it to the bracket, plus 1 wildcard from the separate bracket that we have for them. I'm just trying to look through some of the scores to see where, because the other 2-0 game in the southern district, you would say, in the southern bracket, is QM Samurai taking on HSDC Storm Alton. I'm just trying to see if that result has popped through yet. I don't see it at all, but I mean, yeah, keep an eye on the brackets on champs.britishesports.org to see how the brackets all shape out and how everything goes going into the final bracket. But I mean, if you're a team that sees Eagles in your round of 16 matchup, you've got to be quick in your boots, because these guys will take no quarter. These guys are absolute monsters, and no matter how hard they are pushed, they always seem to come out the other end.
Exactly that. I mean, they were tested there, but they still pulled through by the end of it. Huge props to the team. But that is both our matches done for the day, Crafters. We've seen 2 really great matches here. One which I think should have been closer than it was, and one going the distance in very enjoyable fashion as well. Huge props to both our winners here. Of course, the Eagles winning that first game of the day, not the second game of the day, sorry, and then CCSW Sandstorm winning our first game against the York College Vikings. It was huge game for them as well.
Yeah, huge game for CCSW and for the Vikings as well. But so to the victors go the spoils. They will get a very favourable seeding going into the top 16. And as you know, Boyle, only one team can emerge victorious from both the North and the South, and they'll play each other for the national championship at the LAN a little bit later on this spring, this summer. But the next time that we'll see you for a little bit of a show match. We'll keep that quiet. What's going on there? But that is on March 15th, right here on this very channel, and then the next time you'll see us here for the national champion, for the Student Champs for nationals, will be the 27th of March. So make sure you hit follow here on British Esports, and of course, if you follow us here, you'll see all the other competitions that we have. We have League of Legends, Valorant, and Overwatch, of course. But stick right here, and we'll guide you through all the Rocket League still to come. But like you said, Boyle, that is it from us today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. It's been fun to be back. Hopefully it won't be another 3 months until we see you. It'll be a few weeks. We'll see you for the show match in a few weeks. But from Boyle and from myself, from our producer Brad, and everyone here at British Esports, it's goodbye for now. We'll see you later.